Today we're going to talk about Barefoot shoes, my first and only pair of Barefoot shoes, and they were cheap ones. So let's talk about this. You ask yourself, what is a barefoot shoe? A barefoot shoe is a shoe that has a wide toe box, basically no support, no sole, like no heel on the sole, very thin sole between you and the ground, wide toe box. They're just kind of a flimsy shoe. If I take this shoe off, and I could fold it in half really easily. And you might ask, well, why would you want something like that? Well, it's supposed to connect you with nature, connect you with your environment, like you were walking barefoot, but still offering some protection. The wider toe box is going to make it so your feet aren't getting scrunched up. Your feet have lots of room to move around, really comfortable. And when you're walking, you're going to walk more naturally. So walking more naturally, like your feet are meant to walk and how they want to walk, is going to give you a lot of benefits for your back, your posture, and the muscles. It's going to build muscles in your feet as well, and your ankles, because you're not going to be used to not having any support. So it'll build strength. So if you do get a pair of these, you want to wear them in, get used to them basically. Don't go right on a huge hike with them. Just kind of gradually get used to them. So I've put quite a bit of miles on these. I've had these for a year and 3 months, and they've come with me hiking everywhere, at least in the warmer seasons. I don't really wear these in the wintertime. I've put a lot of miles on these. I've done a lot of hiking, a lot of dog walks with these. So far they've held up pretty good. I want to say that they're probably getting to the end of their life. I might be able to get one more season of hiking out of these, maybe half a season, but only time will tell there. So let's talk about these really quick. So the shoes that I have here, they're Merrell's, and they're the cheap Merrell barefoot shoes. They're called the Trail Gloves. Trail Glove 5 sneaker. Now, if you're like me, you don't like wearing boots very much. You like shoes with low top shoes with little to no support. You don't like ankle support. You're not into big huge boots or anything, and you just get like low top hiking shoes. Then these might be a good option for you. That's the kind of shoe that I've always gotten. I do have a pair of boots, and I do wear boots when necessary. If it's an extremely wet, going to be really wet environment, if it's winter time, I'll throw a pair of boots on reluctantly. And right now, you can get them on Amazon for I think about 70 bucks. I'll throw a link down in the bottom. I think when I got these, it was 60 bucks. It's at a year and 3 months, and we're starting to see some problems here. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but the sole inside of the heel is wearing out. It's broken through the surface, and as on the opposite side where the tread is starting to flatten out. So that part of the shoe is going to go first, it looks like, and I don't know how much longer this shoe actually has. You can see where that divot is, and it's really soft. And it's kind of doing it on both shoes. So what I did is, to prevent my heel from wearing that out even more, is I have a pair of redbacks that I use for work, and I put some insoles in those. So I took out the original insoles that I had. And I'm putting them in here. So hopefully that increases the life of these shoes for me. But basically, I had gotten my first pair of Merrell shoes. I got some trail runners, and right off the bat, they were the most comfortable shoes I have ever put on my feet right out of the box. Absolutely loved those shoes. They lasted me for about 2 years, and it was time to get new shoes. And so I had a really good experience with Merrell. So I had just heard about Barefoot Shoes, and so it was my first time hearing anything about Barefoot Shoes. Chances are that you might not have heard anything about these shoes either. And I was really intrigued by all the information I was gathering on these. And I was looking on Amazon, and these Trail Glove 5s popped up for like 60 bucks. And I was like, well, it's a cheap barefoot shoe. It might not be good, but it's a Merrell. So I wanted to give it a chance because I had such a good experience with the other Merrell I had. So I went and picked these up, and right off the bat, these were super comfortable. Everything that I stated about these shoes is super comfortable. The no ankle support, the thin soles, how they're nice and flexible, the wide toe box, these are fantastic. I would just wear these day to day, just as a day shoe. They're so comfortable. Really like these. And yes, absolutely, the next pair of hiking shoes I buy are going to be barefoot shoes. The next pair of boots I buy are going to be barefoot boots. I want to try those out. I really like the idea of these, and I really like how they feel on my feet, and I've put a ton of miles on these with no issues. So yeah, these are the Merrell Trail Glove 5s. If you're looking to get into a pair of barefoot shoes, I'll leave a link down below to these shoes specifically. Get them for 70 bucks right now on Amazon. If you like wearing low top sneakers and you want something light on your feet, I don't see why you would not like these. Maybe even getting a nicer pair, but I really liked these. At the very least, if you've never tried Merrell's shoes, get a pair of these. Just get the same brand, and I have a feeling that you're going to absolutely love those shoes. The two pairs that I've had from them are just fantastic. Just wanted to do kind of a review on these shoes, get this out there, talk about barefoot shoes. I just heard about them about a year ago, so chances are you haven't heard of them either. And that's pretty much it. I don't know. What they say is you get a wider toe box so your feet aren't cramped. There's no support. There's no really sole support. There's no ankle support. There's very little between your foot and the ground here. You can feel the rocks when you step on them, all the little bumps and everything, and they say like it's supposed to keep you grounded or something. I don't know, similar to walking barefoot. I'll tell you what I got them. So I am not a big guy on boots. I've always bought in low top shoes or sometimes, you know, mid-height shoes. And I've never been a big fan of having big lug soles, really big thick boots. I don't like having my ankles wrapped around. I'm just not a big fan of that. So all the shoes that I usually buy are low top hiking shoes anyway, unless it's winter time, and then I'll put some boots on or something like that. So I just learned about these when I bought these. So, you know, a little over a year now. And I needed a new pair of hiking shoes, and I had just gotten done with my first pair of Merrells. I bought a pair of their trail running shoes, and they were like the most comfortable shoes I put on my feet right out of the box, and they lasted me about 2 years, and then they just disintegrated. But I really like the lightweight shoe. I like how it's lightweight, it dries off fast, and it just super comfortable on my feet. And that's kind of what I'm into. So what they say is that this shoe will build ankle strength because you're not being supported all the time. So if you do get these shoes, they say to like kind of break into them to strengthen your feet and stuff. So your toes aren't all cramped. It strengthens up your ankles. And it just kind of gives you a similar to a barefoot type of experience. So that's kind of what I gathered from the barefoot shoe thing. I've gone through a lot of hiking shoes, and like I told you what I like, and this pretty much fits right into the type of shoe that I do like. And I will say I think I bought these for 60 or 70 bucks. I really like them. I just feel like you don't get any life out of your shoes anymore. I mean, I didn't spend a whole bunch of money for this, but lately I've been buying $200-ish pairs of shoes, and they seem to be out of commission in like 6 months to a year. And I swear that shoes used to last me 2+ years easily. So I don't know if I'm misremembering that or if shoes just aren't made as good as they used to be anymore. Have no idea. So I really like these things. If you are into low top sneakers and having your feet just feel completely free and not bound up, I would recommend these. Just keep in mind how thin the soles are when you're walking. I haven't had any issues with it personally, but like I said, a year and 3 months, and we're starting to see some problems here. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but the sole inside of the heel is wearing out. It's broken through the surface, and as on the opposite side where the tread is starting to flatten out. So that part of the shoe is going to go first, it looks like, and I don't know how much longer this shoe actually has. You can see where that divot is, and it's really soft, and it's kind of doing it on both shoes. So what I did is to prevent my heel from wearing that out even more is I have a pair of redbacks that I use for work, and I put some insoles in those. So I took out the original insoles that I had. And I'm putting them in here. So hopefully that increases the life of these shoes for me by a little bit. I don't want to buy another pair of hiking shoes. You know, I'd like them to last another summer if possible. So yeah, these are the Barefoot shoes. Should you get them? It's kind of up to you, but for me, it's totally worth it. I will definitely get another pair of Barefoot shoes. I think my next pair of hiking shoes are going to be these for sure, and definitely want to get a nice pair of Barefoot shoe boots. They make 8-inch high boots that are in this barefoot style, and I just feel better when I'm wearing these shoes. I don't know what it is, but They just feel great on my feet. They're super comfortable. Like I said, your feet aren't getting squished together. I like to feel the ground under my feet. And I do a lot of walking around barefoot anyway. So, and you know, you could say, well, why don't you just walk on the trail barefoot? Well, you have to slow down a lot when you walk barefoot. And I'm not going to go do a 10-mile hike barefoot. That's just, I don't want to do that. But I want my feet to be really comfortable. And I just like them, you know? What do you want me to say? I just like them. So let's, real quick, see what the internet says about the Barefoot shoes. Like I said, I just heard about these a little over a year ago, so chances are you haven't heard of them. They're designed to mimic the experience of walking or running barefoot, while still offering some protection. They typically feature a thin, flexible sole, a wide toe box, and no or minimal heel lift, which allows the feet to move and function more naturally. So that's another thing. Your feet are going to be moving more naturally, and as your feet move more naturally, it's going to, you know, make your back feel better and line everything up else on your body in a better way. You're not moving unnaturally, per se. This can lead, potential benefits including stronger foot muscles, improved balance and posture, and a greater connection with the environment. So that's what the internet says about them, and typically I wear my shoes out very, very well to where they're basically a barefoot shoe when I'm done with them anyway. So it's not really changing much for me. So going from like a lightweight trail running kind of shoe to these wasn't